Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Welcome to the online session Ekalaiva. Yes, in the previous class, I was saying you about the economics lesson, that is the story of village Palampur. In that, we were in the topic farming in Palampur, right? I was saying you about the land, how it is fixed. In that fixed land, we have to cultivate. In order to get more output, we have to go for another way like green revolution, that is using HYV seeds, then fertilizers, then pesticides. Then the question comes whether land will sustain. Because using of these chemical fertilizers will pollute the water, and too much of pesticides will just reduce the fertility of the soils. And later on, if you just have too much of irrigation, you can see the groundwater level is reducing. Now we are going for the next topic, that is how is land distributed. How is land distributed in the village Palampur? When I was saying you about this lesson in the initial stage, I told you that we do have 450 families, right children? In that, 1/3 families were Dalits who were living in one side of the corner, and I told you that their houses were made up of mud and straw. Do you remember it, children? So 1/3 means we have to just see to it, that is 150 families. They had no land for cultivation, right? Then you have almost 240 families where these people were having tiny plots, and their member used to cultivate in the form whichever they had, and they used to be satisfied with their production. Then you have the last 60 families whom I told that they were said to be upper caste, right? And they had land which was more than 10 hectares. Did you get it, children? Here, these people did not have land to cultivate. Here, they had land to cultivate, but they had tiny plots. Did you get it, children? Everyone understood till here? Right. Now, who will provide the labor for them? This is the next topic. Who will provide labor? Did you get it, children? Now, as far as these poor farmers are concerned, they have no land for cultivation, so they have to go for job in order to get their livelihood to go on. That is, they will be going to the farmers who have land, and we have these rich people who hire these laborers, Did you get it, children? So we have the 60 families who just hire the laborers, and they pay them the wages either in cash or kind. Did you get it, children? Now, how about these middle class family? We can just consider these people who are having tiny plots. They will just cultivate in their own land, but that's not enough for them. Even they go and join hands with these farmers, and they also work in the field who has more than 10 hectares of land. Now, from this, we can come to a consideration that the rich families are those families who is hiring the people who is not having the land or having a tiny plots and paying them. Did you get it, children? We'll just have an example for these topics. Now, for the first topic, that is, we can go for Govind. who is said to be a farmer who had almost 2.25 hectares of land, and it was said to be unirrigated land. But after his death, according to the right of inheritance, his three sons divided the land and they started to cultivate. But what happened? The cultivation which was coming during the Gobind period, it was not the same after his death. Because if the land are divided, you can see that the cultivation or the output will not be the same as it is united together, right? Now, when we come for the labor process, we can take the example of Dala, who is just saying his queries to Ramkali that all the modern machines, all the rapid changes which is taking on because of the modern machines like threshers for threshing, and you have the harvesters for harvesting, which is decreasing their labor power. Because of this, these people are losing their job. And finally, they are said to be very much poor enough and they can't just adjust 2 meals per day. He is saying that if he goes for the job for one day, he is getting just 80 rupees. But according to the government norms, they should provide 115 rupees. But there is no other go. If Dala argues with the owner, automatically he will be removed from the job and you do have a long queue for his place. Right, children? He just adjusts with the owner and is working there. Now, the next topic. Where will the capital come for these people? Right, children? Where will the capital come for these people? We'll go with the farmers. Now, the farmers are not having money. They are going to the job. They are cultivating the land from with the whose owner is said to be a land owner who provides him the job. That money is not enough for his family. So automatically what happens? He moves towards the money lender. Money lender gives him the money, but the interest is very much high. So automatically you can see these farmers being a debt trap where their life will be just moving on with paying of interest along with the principal amount. But how about the rich farmers? The rich farmers, they'll get the interest amount, right? They would have saved the money, right? So what happens with these? They get the profit from the surplus. Did you get it, children? For this, we can take the example of Savita. Savita is said to be a woman who has a very tiny plot. In order to cultivate her land, she just borrows the money from a money lender. Finally, she is under this debt trap. So what happened? She has to work near the money lender and also in her own cultivable land. Finally, she's not able to pay the money and she has to just sell her land also. Okay, now the last, children. When I was teaching you the previous topic, I told you surplus. Now, what do you mean by surplus? Surplus of farm products. What do you mean by surplus, children? Surplus means, we can take an example of wheat. Now, if you are cultivating wheat in your land, we can take for example, almost 10 sacks of land has been produced. Okay, the owner of the land will take 3 sacks for his family's consumption. The other 7 sack is sent to the market and he will be getting the profit because of this. These 7 sacks are said to be the surplus one. That is the product which is left out after taking for your own consumption and just using it for your profit or for your trading purpose, you're calling it as surplus. Did you get it, children? Here the example is Tejpal Singh, right? Tejpal Singh is said to be a richest farmer in the village, and he just had 350 quintals of wheat, right? From this, he got more surplus, and finally, with that, he got profit. Now, I think I've made you to understand the farming in Palampur was not an easy task, because you can see to it that you do have all the categories of the people. That is the people who is not having a land, the people who is having the land and who is not dependent, and other category, the people who is said to be a person who can just hold the land in a very big way, and is just doing it in a process of getting it as a profit, right? Yes, children. You can see in an elaborate way, that is in Palampur, about you had 1/3 of the 450 families are said to be poor people, right? Then you can see more than half of the area is covered by plots that are quite large in size. Okay, you can come to a conclusion that we do have the three categories of people over here: the one who had land, the one who did not have a land, and the one who had tiny plots. Here the people are cultivating the land. They are being hired by the people who had land. And these are the people who is not having a land. Yes, if the poor people is not having the money and the wages which is given by the owner of the land is not enough, finally it will lead them to the money lender, where they'll be under debt trap. Yes, of course, this is what I told you about surplus. Surplus means you will be getting a profit where you have taken for your own consumption and selling the other things to the market. These are the questions which are expected, children. Just note it down. I'll be checking it later on. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. I think I've made you to understand this topic in an elaborate way. See you.